Okay, let's take a look at the section 4.1 to 4.3 quiz review on systems of equations. Remember, we're using elimination, substitution, graphing, and we're going to solve a few word problems. So let's take a look at the first question. It asks, how many solutions are there for the following system? Since one of the equations, well, both the equations are already solved for a variable, you can use substitution. So I will substitute minus 3/2 y plus 9 into the first equation. So I get y is equal to negative 2/3. Now the value of x is negative 3/2 y plus 9 minus 3. So y is equal to y minus 18/3 minus 3, we want to change that to thirds, minus 9/3. So then when we subtract the y from both sides, we get 0 is equal to 9. So there are no solutions to this particular system. 2 asks you if the system is consistent or inconsistent. Since there are no solutions, it is inconsistent. Number 3 asks if the ordered pair 1/2, 1/3 is a solution to the following system. So you will substitute those values of x and y in and see if those equations are true. So 6 times 1/2 plus 3 times 1/3 equals 4. So you get 3 plus 1 equals 4, and that is true. For the second one, you have 1/3 is equal to 2/3 times 1/2. So 1/3 is equal to 2/6. That is also true. So the answer would be yes, 1/2, 1/3 is a solution to the system. Okay, now let's take a look at question 4. Question 4 asks you to solve this system by graphing. So start by graphing the first line, y equals x minus 5. So the y-intercept is at negative 5. It has a slope of 1. So you can kind of sketch in that line. Remember, graphing, it's really difficult to be as accurate as you need to be with graphing, but try. Then the second equation, 2x minus 5y equals 1. We have to get that in slope-intercept form in order to graph it. So I have minus 5y equals negative 2x plus 1. So y is equal to 2/5 x minus 1/5. So the y-intercept is at negative 1/5. It's about right here. And it has a slope of 2/5, so I'm going to go up 2 and over 5. So that's about right there. And then I will graph this line. And it looks as if my solution is the ordered pair 8, 3. If you don't want to put it in slope-intercept, remember from standard form you could let x equal 0 to get the y-intercept, let y equal 0 to get the x-intercept. Either way you'll get the same solution. Number 5 asks you to solve this system using substitution. When you look at this equation, you see that the first equation, the coefficient on x is a 1. So that would be the easiest one to solve and use substitution. So x is equal to negative 6y minus 2. Now substitute minus 6y minus 2 into the second equation. So 5 times minus 6y minus 2 minus 20y equals 5. So you distribute that, get negative 30y minus 10 minus 20y equals 5. So then you have minus 50y equals 15. So y is equal to negative 15 over 50, which can be rewritten as negative 3/10. Now you have to find the x value, so substitute negative 3/10 for y back into one of the equations. The first one looks like a nice place to substitute that. Actually, let's look at the second one. That one looks a little nicer. So I have 5x minus 20 times negative 3/10 equals 5. So I have 5x. Now when you can cancel the 10 and then that becomes a 2. So you're going to get minus 6 equals 5. So 5x is equal to 11. So x is equal to 11/5. No, this is actually a plus 6. Sorry, that's a plus 6. Let's go back. And this becomes a negative 1. So the x is negative 1/5. So the solution is negative 1/5, negative 3/10. If you want to check your answer, you can substitute those back into both of those equations. See if it makes those equations true. Number 6 asks you to solve the system using elimination or linear combination. So remember, if you look at the first equation, you'll see that the value on x is a multiple of the first. So I'll take that first equation, multiply it by 3. So I get negative 9x plus 15y equals 3. The second equation I'll leave as is. So I have 9x minus 3y equals 5. When I add those up, the x's will cancel, and I will get 12y equals 8. So y is equal to 8/12, which is 2/3. So I have my value of y. I'll substitute that back into one of those equations. I'll pick 9x minus 3y. You can see why I did that. Equals 5. So now those 3's will cancel. I have 9x minus 2 equals 5. 9x equals 7. So x equals 7/9. The solution to this problem is x is 7/9, y is 2/3. And again, you can substitute that back into the equations and verify that it makes the equations true. That's how you'll know that your solutions are valid. Number 7 looks harder than it actually is. If you look at that second equation, if you multiply both sides by 8/1, you'll see that then you can get rid of that fraction, and you just have x plus 3 equals 32. Subtract the 3 from both sides, you'll get that x is equal to 29. Take that value, substitute it into the first equation, so minus 3 times 29 plus y equals 4. So negative 87 plus y equals 4, so y equals 91. So the solution to this system is just 29/91. Number 8 is 3 equations and 3 unknowns. You can choose any combination of substitution or elimination that you want to use. I'm going to use elimination, I'm going to take the first equation and the second equation. That's going to be my first combination. So x minus 3y plus 2z equals negative 11. And then 2x minus 4y plus 3z equals negative 15. The second combination I'm going to pick is the first equation, x minus 3y plus 2z equals negative 11. And then the third equation, 3x minus 5y minus 4z equals 5. So now I have two sets. In the first set, I'm going to multiply this first equation by negative 2. So when I do that, I will get negative 2x plus 6y minus 4z equals 22. Now I'm going to use these two equations, eliminate the x to get my equation down to a 2 by 2. So when I add those together, the x's cancel. I have 2y minus z equals 7. Looking at the second set of equations, I'll take the first equation and I'll multiply that by negative 3. So I'll get negative 3x plus 9y minus 6z equals 33. I'm going to use these two equations, add them together. I will cancel the x's then. I get 4y minus 10z equals 38. So now I'm down to two equations and two unknowns. So when we look at this, I can either cancel the y or the z. Either is fairly easy. If I take this first equation on the left and I multiply that by negative 2, I'm going to get negative 2y plus 4z equals negative 4, or excuse me, negative 14. I'll get negative 14. Then I'll leave this second equation as it is. Sorry, again, this is a negative 4y and a 2z. Okay, so now I'll take the second equation, 4y minus 10z equals 38, and I'll add these together. The y's will cancel. I'll get negative 8z is equal to 24, so z is equal to negative 3. There's my first value. I'll take that value, substitute it into one of the previous equations. So I would substitute it into 2y minus negative 3 equals 7. So 2y plus 3 equals 7. 2y equals 4, so y equals 2. So there's my second value. I'll then take the values of y and z, substitute those into that original equation, x minus 3 times 2 plus 2 times negative 3 equals negative 11. So I have x minus 6 equals negative 11. X minus 12 equals negative 11, so x is equal to 1. That's my third value, and I can write the ordered triple. X is 1, y is 2, z is minus 3. Okay, let's take a look at question number 9. Question number 9 says, Johnny Pennypincher invested a total of $37,000 in securities. Part of the money was invested at a rate of 5% and the rest at a rate of 6.5%. His annual income for both investments was $2,142.50. Find the amount of money invested at each rate. First thing you have to do, remember, define your variables. So I'm going to say let X equal the amount invested at 5%. And Y equal the amount invested at 6.5%. So the amount invested at 5% plus the amount invested at 6.5% is equal to the total amount of the investment, which is $37,000. And that comes from this statement. The next equation comes from using the rate or the return. So I have 0.05, 5% of the amount invested at 5%, plus 0.065 times the amount invested at 6.5% is equal to the total amount that he received as interest, which is $2,142.50. This one is easy if you just solve the first one for Y. So Y is equal to 37,000 minus X. And then substitute that 37,000 minus X into the second equation. So 0.05X plus 0.065 times 37,000 minus X is equal to 2,142.50. Use the distributive property. You get 0.065 times 37,000 is 2,405, and then minus 0.065x equals 2,142.50. Combine like terms, you get negative 0.015x. Subtract the 2,405 from both sides, and you will get negative 262.50. Divide both sides by negative 0.015, and you will get that x is equal to $17,500. Go back to one of the original equations, probably the x plus y equals 37,000. You have 17,500 plus y equals $37,000, so y is equal to $19,500. So he invested $17,500 at 5%, $19,500 at 6.5% interest. Number 10, Sam bought 7 pizzas and 6 bottles of soda for $67.27. Goes on to say for his scout trip on Tuesday, the following week he ordered 9 pizzas and 10 bottles of soda for $90.80. And then the question asks, how much does each pizza cost and how much is each bottle of soda? So we're going to again define the variables. Let P equal the cost of 1 pizza and S equal the cost of 1 bottle of soda. So we now know that we have 7 times the cost of a pizza plus 6 times the cost of a soda is equal to $67.27. We also have the cost, 9 pizzas times the cost of a pizza plus 10 times the cost of a soda is equal to $90.81. So when this is the case, you can just look at one of the variables and multiply each equation by the opposite of the other. So the first equation I'm going to multiply by negative 10. That will give me negative 60s. The second one I'm going to multiply by a positive 6. So again, I have a 60s, and they will cancel. So I have negative 70p minus 60s is equal to negative 672.70. The second equation, I'll have 54p plus 60s is equal to 544.86. When I add these together, the s's will cancel, and I will have negative 16p is equal to negative $127.84. Dividing that by negative 16, I get that a pizza cost $7.99. I can substitute that back into either equation. So 7 times 7.99 plus 6 times the price of a soda is equal to 67.27. So 55.93 plus 6s is equal to 67.27. So 6s is equal to 11.34. So S, the price of a soda, S is equal to $1.89. Remember, you want to write a sentence that talks about this. So the cost of one pizza is $7.99. The cost of one bottle of soda is $1.89. And again, you want to think about that and ask yourself, is that a reasonable amount? If you got the price of a soda, bottle of soda was $10,000, you might want to think about that. Okay, number 11, Piggy Bank saved $512 in $1, $5, and $10 bills. Probably need a little grammatical change there. If there were 168 bills in all, and 8 more $5 bills than $10 bills, how many bills of each denomination does he have? So again, we have to define the variables. Let W equal the number of $1 bills let F equal the number of $5 bills and T equal the number of $10 bills. Okay, so when you look at that word problem again, you know that he had 168 bills in all. So if we take the number of $1 bills plus the number of $5 bills plus the number of $10 bills, that would equal 168 bills. Now each of those has a value, and the total value is 512. So ones are worth $1, so that's W. Fives are worth $5, so 5 times the number of 5s, plus then $10 bills are worth 10, so 10t equals $512. Then the last part says, in all, and they have 8 more $5 bills than $10 bills. So we're looking at the relationship between $5 bills and $10 bills. If they have 8 more 5s than 10s, in order for these to be equal, I have to add 8 bills to the 10s side. So here are my 3 equations. If you look at that last one, you're down to 2 variables in that equation. So if you just substitute the value t plus 8 in for f in both of the previous equations, you'll be down to a 2 by 2. So you have w plus t plus 8 plus t equals 168. Then you have w plus 5 times t plus 8 plus 10t equals 512. So you'll have, for the first equation, w plus 2t plus 8 equals 168. So you're going to have w plus 2t equals 160. So now we're down to a 2 by 2. The second equation, I have w plus 5t plus 40 plus 10t equals 512. Combining like terms, I get w plus 15t. Subtract the 40 from both sides, and you will get equal to 472. So now here are my 2 equations. Simply by multiplying the first by -1, getting me negative w minus 2t equals negative 160, leaving the second equation alone. You will cancel the w's, get 13t equals 312, so t equals 24. Once you find the number of 10s, you can substitute that in to that equation. 5s is equal to 10s plus 8, so 5s is equal to 32. So now you have the 10s, you have the 5s. Go back to that first equation. The 1s plus the 5s plus the 10s is equal to 168. So the 1s would be equal to 112. And your ordered triple would be 112, 32, and 24. And again, you should write then the sentence that says Piggy has 112 ones, 112 ones, 32 fives, and 24 tens. Okay, let's take a look at the last problem. This is like the one in class. I tried to reword it to get to understand that it intends to include the current twice. So let's see how this works out this time. A river steamer travels 48 kilometers downstream in the same time it takes it to travel 32 kilometers upstream. If the steamer's engines drive it at a rate of 16 kilometers per hour greater than the rate of the current, when is it still water? What is the rate of the current? So when I'm looking at this rate, the rate is in still water. Let me put that, the rate in still water is the current plus 16. So the current from this stream plus 16. So now I'm looking at when it goes downstream and when it goes upstream. So the rate, the time, and the distance. So the rate when it travels downstream is the rate that the ship travels, which is the current plus 16, plus the current, plus the current helping it go downstream. The time is t and the distance is 48. So I get 2c plus 16. So my first equation for downstream is 2c plus 16 times t equals 48, or t is equal to 48 over 2c plus 16. Now when it's going upstream, it's going against the current. So the rate of the ship is the current plus 16 minus the current, because now the current is not helping it, it's kind of pushing against it, times t, and then my 32. So what I will get is 16 times t equals 32. So t is equal to 2 hours. Now you can substitute that in. T is equal to 48 over 2c plus 16. Multiply 2 times 2c plus 16 equals 48. You'll get 4c plus 32 equals 48. 4c equals 16, so c is equal to 4. So the rate of the current is equal to 4. And that concludes this quiz review worksheet. If you were able to complete it successfully, you should have no problems tomorrow. Good luck and study hard. I'll see you then.